Hi, welcome to Home Farm. Today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the MBC 50 Ally brush cutter from Mountfield.
So a big thank you to Mountfield for very kindly loaning us the strimmer to review, and it's been good, hasn't it?
It's been really good. I find strimmers to be quite an indispensable piece of gardening equipment when you are working on a small holding.
Yeah.
You've got so many different things that you need to do, from edging to taking stuff around trees. We had a lot of daffodil beds that have now gone over. So what I found quite handy about this one is not only have you got the nylon head, you do have the opportunity to change into the blade head.
The brush cutter, yeah.
Yes, the brush cutter. So what the convenience of that is, if you obviously can get through a lot of stuff with the with the nylon head.
Yeah.
But you're losing a lot of nylon. It's shredding unnecessarily. So when you are working with things like dried grasses or stuff that's a little bit firmer, maybe even dock leaves, nettles, stuff like that,
yeah.
I think that the brush cutter does a pretty fantastic job of getting through those. I liked the actual way that you change between the nylon head and the brush cutter itself.
That was good.
It's quite cleverly done, in the sense that we've used brush cutters in the past where you do change between the metal head and you need to get an Allen key or some sort of metal thing to jam and break to try and undo it. This has just got a really cool little button at the back.
Yeah.
You just got to adjust the nylon head, you push. You actually figured that out, so well done to you.
Yeah, we couldn't find that in the manual.
We couldn't find it in the manual.
Maybe we just missed it, but yeah, it was good to figure it out. But yeah, once we did figure it out, it was quite easy and quite good to have that. I thought it was quite a good.
And it is clever because you don't really need the tool. Well, you do need the tool to tighten the actual metal head on, but at least you don't have to fiddle around too much trying to align the actual spinning head with regards to the nylon head and everything else. So from that perspective, a nice design. This strimmer comes with 2 speed settings, so it's got basically a 1 and a 2. The number 1 is actually quite slow, and automatically I went straight to number 2 to actually get through some lengthier grass. But there is definitely a benefit to the slower speed in terms of when you're actually working around flowers and stuff like that.
Where you want more control.
Because it's a lot more delicate and it doesn't rip and shred through stuff at a crazy rate. So from that perspective, it was good. I did, however, find that on the number 2 setting, it was still a little bit underpowered. with regards to some of the other trimmers that we've used.
Yeah.
That's not a criticism, it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that we just have to be cautious about how we're reviewing it, because we're coming at it from a small holding, very large garden user. So a lot of the products that we personally have, we tend to kind of use them in our large garden and then just kind of use them across into the field areas. So we have quite a high demand from the tools that we have.
We do, especially for the trimmers, because we do often have to tackle some heavier, denser stuff.
I think that this trimmer, would be appropriate for medium-sized gardens. I think it's probably overkill if you've got a small suburban garden, a terrace garden, anything that's kind of quite compact. I think this is probably a bit too big for you.
And I think that if you have got a bigger garden or a small holding, and you're on a budget, I still think you might be able to get away with it because you've got the metal blade.
Yeah.
So the ability to switch to that metal blade does give you a little bit more power, if you like, to actually get through heavier, denser stuff. But if you're solely reliant on wanting to use nylon, that's going to be your drawback with regards to this trimmer.
The battery?
I thought the battery was great, but
we love battery products.
We do, and
we are a sucker for battery powered tools. That's just our personal preference.
But it's the future. It has to be the future, purely from a sustainability perspective, and just the. I mean, I know we've said it before in previous videos, but you know, the fact that you don't have to worry about spark plugs and things not starting if you haven't used them for a long time. The battery powered stuff is just so great. As long as the battery's charged, you put it in, you start it up, and it works.
Especially I think with gardens, like yes, you do have the diesel, the petrol kind of power tools, but then you do have corded electric options on the market. And I personally just find them to be a real hassle, because I just feel like, especially with the trimmer, you kind of go out there, but you are trimming normally in a kind of all these different areas around your, edging your lawn and things, and you're kind of going through flower beds and everything else, and you're constantly flipping the wire over bushes, over shrubs, kind of decapitating, your flowers and things. True. And it's annoying. So when you've got the battery, it's just really great, because you know that you just don't have any headaches. You don't have fuel to deal with. You don't have spillages. You don't have horrible smells. You don't have cables getting tangled up around things. You can just go out there and get the job done. And for me, I just think that it's brilliant.
So as with the whole line of Freedom products from Mountfield, this doesn't come with a charger or the battery as part of the pack. You have to buy those separately, which is fine. Mountfield recommend that you use the 4 amp battery with this. Mountfield did loan us the 4 amp battery to use with it. The 4 amp battery I found to be probably too much battery for this particular trimmer. I mean, we trimmed a lot, and at no stage did we get beyond kind of 1 bar, so we still had 3/4 of the battery left.
Wow.
So I actually took a 2 amp battery that we had for a different review that we're doing of a small lawnmower that we're doing for Mountfield. And I used that, and even that only used up about half the battery on a big trimming session.
Wow.
So you don't have to fork out for a big 4 amp battery. If you just want to get something for this particular trimmer, I think you might be able to get away with the 2 amp.
And so the 2 amp battery, is that lighter?
It is lighter.
So
there's less cells inside. So it is lighter. It's actually a good point, because I found this trimmer to be a little bit heavy with the 4 amp just at the back, just from the way that it's designed.
Okay.
It does put quite a lot of pressure on your right. I'm right-handed, so I'm actually pulling the trigger with my right hand. I found it put quite a lot of strain on that. Okay. I know that it comes with a little harness and stuff, which we didn't use because I'm not a big fan of those.
No, again, it's something else to get kind of tangled up in. We're not into it, but
I've never been a huge fan of those. If I get tired, I just put this trimmer down, have some water, and I carry on after a few minutes after I've recovered. So from that perspective, I think the lighter the battery, again, it just means that the whole trimmer is lighter and just more mobile and easier to get around.
So the batteries are interchangeable. With like Mountfield, you can use the battery in the trimmer or the lawnmower.
And not only that, you can actually use them across different brands. So this is where things can get a little bit confusing. So Stigger is the main company that owns
parent company.
The parent company, so it's the brands like Atco and Mountfield, and there's others that actually fall underneath the Stigger.
Are under the umbrella of Stigger. Okay.
So Stigger are the guys that have developed the whole new line of batteries for their products, and now they've allowed those batteries to work with some of the other brands within the Stigger portfolio.
Right.
Mountfield is one of those. So whether you get a Mountfield lawnmower, trimmer, chainsaw, brush cutter, whatever it is, you will be using batteries that are called e-power. and those e-power batteries
are branded Stiga.
Some of them are and some of them aren't. So you're looking for the word e-power.
Okay.
The Stiga ones are obviously branded yellow because that's Stiga's colors.
Yeah.
So you know there will be a yellow color to them, but they've also got a line of Stiga batteries that are black that are also e-power, like we've seen with one of the other Mountfield products.
Right.
So don't get confused by the fact that you see Stiga branding on something that is maybe Mountfield.
Right.
You're just looking for the word e-power. As long as
Yeah.
it's got e-power, those batteries are interchangeable across all of this stuff, across, you know, Stiga, Mountfield, Atco.
That's really important to know, though, isn't it? Because I mean, from my perspective, I was going online to just see if I could get a good deal on a battery, and I saw a e-power, and it was yellow and Stiga branded.
Yeah.
I would just discount it and say, oh, that's not Mountfield, I can't use that in my Mountfield strimmer, and I would just move across to the next listing.
Yeah.
So I think it's really good to know that, you know, okay, so you're just looking for e-power, and if you've got the e-power and it's a Stiga or a Mountfield, so if it's yellow battery or a black battery, you're good to go.
The biggest advantage of this, because Stiga is such a big group and they've got so many other brands that fall underneath them, you know, you're not obliged to just buy their battery to only use in a Stiga product. If you've seen something from Mountfield that you absolutely love, and you've already bought the Stiga battery for something else, it's going to work in that. If you see something from the Atco brand that you really like, it's going to work in that. So you've just got great flexibility and options now available to you as a consumer to utilize these batteries across multiple different brands.
And definitely, you know, do check. It's worth asking then with the retailer or the person who's selling it to you, you know, even online, you know, pick up the phone them or email them and say to them, look, I just want to double check that this battery will work in this product, because that's really interesting, because I would have just personally only looked for Mountfield batteries, so that's worth knowing.
So just to reiterate, you're looking for the word e-power.
Yeah.
If it's got e-power on it, you're good.
And the noise, I have to say, you know, when we did say earlier that, you know, we personally, for our personal use, we have a lot of really heavy duty kind of gear, and you know, one of the downsides of that is that they obviously, because they're very, very powerful, they're very, very loud in a lot of circumstances, and we've got some pretty loud gear, and this you know, it's really appropriate for, you know, kind of if you've got neighbours, if you're in a very residential area. I didn't even kind of acknowledge or notice the sound of it.
As far as other strimmers go, it really hasn't been as loud as others, especially when you're on the first setting where the head is actually turning quite slowly.
Yeah.
It's very, very quiet. It obviously, the more you crank up the tool and it starts to spin, obviously the noisier it gets. But even on the number 2 settings, the maximum setting, I didn't find it was that noisy.
I didn't. So I hope you found this video useful and interesting. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We hope to see you on our next video, and thanks very much for watching, and thanks to Mountfield for loaning us the kit to review for this video.
Thanks for watching.
Have
Happy
a great
gardening.
day. Bye.